welcome to Better. I'm Audra Lowe.
And I'm Rhiannon Alley, and it's Father's Day weekend. We hope you're ready for it. As you can see, we've got a special guest co-host for our Father's Day show. TV host, writer, and proud papa of two.
That I am.
Yeah. Two. You have two young ones.
As far as I know, that's all.
JD Roberto is here, and he's going to play with us this morning and also talk about being a dad.
Yeah, it's Father's Day.
I'm so glad that you're here because not only are you a dad, but he's a proud papa. I actually met up with JD in LA a few weeks ago, and we sat out on this bench of all places. We just literally sat out there in the sun and talked about being a dad. And with that, JD just went straight into the best new dad advice that he never got. It was hilarious. Take a look.
When people say, "Oh, catch up on your sleep now," that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
You know, when I'm up with a 4-month-old who's throwing up all over me, I don't think, boy, I'm glad I got 10 hours of sleep 6 months ago.
But people also say it's a tough job and it's so well worth it. And we know it is worth it.
Yeah, of course.
But you hate that phrase. Why, JD?
I hate the phrase because it makes it sound like 51% of the time it's going to be blissful and great. And then 49% of the time it's going to be a challenge. But that's not true. There are some days where it is 98% miserable. Yes. And then there are some days where it's just so good you can't imagine why you didn't do it sooner.
Right.
But it's bipolar. It's all over the map, right? It's not 51-49.
Okay.
It's all over the map. And what you have to get used to is that there's not just going to be hard hours, there's going to be hard months.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And when I assume when they get to be teens, hard years.
Oh, yeah.
But it is all worth it because you're doing the most important job of the world. You're leaving the rest of the world a good, loving human being.
And you're okay with using a lot of wipes. Some people will say
No
just
such
use
thing
one
as
or
too
two.
many wipes. My wife, and this is one of the few disagreements my wife and I have on parenting. And she says, "What are you doing? We're out of wipes again." I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I got wipes in my pocket. I've got like surgical gloves, wipes on. There's no such thing as too many wipes.
Okay, not too many baby wipes. We get in arguments about that at our house all the time because he just pulls out baby wipes. There's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And you only need one.
Why not?
It's just a waste of
The
them.
cost
JD.
of being wrong with what can happen to your hands if there are not enough baby wipes there. There is no such thing.
It's just a waste. If you only need one.
Safety
Men
first.
love to use safety first. All right.
people.
But it's good though.
My
At least
wife
you,
and I disagree about this.
At least you are changing the diapers, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we like
There are
that.
men out there
good
who
at it.
never change one diaper. I have friends that have husbands.
That's a
Not even one.
failure. That's a failure of fatherhood. That's a failure. Go change a diaper.
JD, you have been your guest star announcer on Price is Right.
Yep.
Also, you've hosted ABC's How to Lose the Guy or How to Get the Guy? 'Cause in my
It's
life,
called
it would have been How to Lose Him.
It was a dating show,
Yes.
sort of, you know, about relationships and what makes a functional relationship
Right.
and what doesn't.
And you're a contributor at LA Times. And you
I
have
do some
blogs
writing
and
for the LA
you're
Times.
really
I got a
into
blog
this.
going. Yeah.
Really into this.
You've
whole
done a lot
dad
of stuff.
thing.
I have to hear the Price is Right voice because you are the guest announcer. So let's hear it.
Audra Lowe, come on down. That's all I got.
That sounds like my
good.
husband when I'm 5-10 minutes late from getting dressed. Yeah,
Come on down. The car is waiting.
But you really embrace the whole fatherhood thing. And here's the reason that we're so excited that you're here today is because, you know, Mother's Day, we tend to pay a lot of attention to not only moms, Mother's Day gifts, and that's great. But the fathers often get overlooked. And you say that that's one of the big issues that you have is that dad is doing a job too. It's a very important job, right?
Well, I mean, I think there's kind of a double standard in as much as I think some dads really enjoy the fact that mom does most of the work and they go off and they sort of don't have to be part of it. But there are a whole group of dads, there's a whole group of dads that really wants to be an equal partner in the relationship. And that's me for sure. I want my kids to look back and think of having parents, not a mom, and then a dad who came home after work.
Right.
Interesting. That's good.
Yeah, and here's something really interesting because you said one of the things that you've learned since becoming a dad is that a lot of parents miss their single lives. Now, I have to say, I already know that I'm going to miss my single life.
You
and I
are,
don't have kids.
big time.
I already know. I think about that when I go run errands, when I go run and do things. I'm like, oh, once I have kids, this is over.
Changes, right?
You know what? The parents feel the need to put the words, "but it's all worth it," at the end of every phrase. Like, oh, you know, I'm exhausted
Like, oh,
and the
God.
baby's sick and I haven't slept in 6 days. But it's all worth it, like I'm obligated to say that. Sure, it's all worth it, but it's okay to be exhausted, and it's okay to say, God, I remember when I could sleep till 10 or go to a movie on a Tuesday just because.
Right,
it's
right.
okay. The only thing you really have to offer your kids is the life you had before they came along, right? All your experiences, all your principles, all your beliefs. Good, I'm glad you missed your life. It means you had a good one.
Right.
Does that
You
mean
know?
you can't just like put them in a room and leave and go do
I
what you're
tried that.
doing?
It doesn't work.
You
Right.
can, but protective services will be by shortly thereafter. Yeah?
One of the things that I thought you said was really important. Fatherhood is not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
I sometimes dads feel like they're playing catch up. We're not literally physically pregnant, right? So by the time the baby comes into the world, mom and baby have had 9 intimate months
Yeah, I was
together.
gonna say,
I hope not 5.
that, yeah.
Math, I took the new math. 9 intimate months together, so dad is kind of playing catch up. I know, I can't. I'd be like, why isn't this thing out yet? It's been 5 months.
Right.
But I felt a little bit, and mom is nursing, and then in the middle of the night, the baby wakes up and the baby wants mom, and I think it was an amazing moment for me the first time my daughter woke up and called for me. Which was also an amazing moment for my wife. She's like, great, dude, get up, go. It's all you, pal.
I know a lot of moms would love to hear the baby call for dad in the middle of the night.
Well, it was a win-win. She was happy, I was happy.
Well, we're so glad that you're here. So you're going to stick around.
This is
for the
fun.
show,
Yeah,
right?
let's talk Father's Day all day. I am excited for Father's Day. I'm just going to hang out with the kids.
Oh, that's a nice Father's Day.
My son's just old enough to make me cards now, which are so incredibly cute.
You got to save all of those.
I do, every one of them.